Hello, welcome to Michigan Korean Times TV News Point. I'm here with Hannah, and she's with the Hope Against Trafficking organization. And I guess we should start out by telling people what exactly is human trafficking and what is your organization doing to try to help these victims of this horrible crime.
Okay, well, we are Hope Against Trafficking. We're a 501c3 nonprofit organization looking to answer the call to the dire need of long-term restorative homes and dedicated programming to help and support adult female survivors of trafficking. We are a 24-month program, free, and we provide housing at no cost to the survivor. We have 2 homes right now in the city of Pontiac. One will house up to 5, and the second will house up to 16 women. And because we're finding that women that are coming out of trafficking, there's really nowhere right now that they can go.
Right.
If there is somewhere for them to go, it's very limited. And so the recidivism rate, the rate at which these women are ending up back, is very high. It's too high. We just can't keep allowing that to happen.
Let's talk a little bit about exactly what human trafficking is and how these girls get involved in something like this. People around here might not think that's a big problem. They don't hear about it on the news a lot, but it seems to be like a hidden problem in this area.
Yeah, it's a really big issue. Human trafficking involves the recruitment, the harboring, and the transporting of people into situations for exploitation through the use of violence, deception, coercion, fraud. They're forced against their will so that somebody can benefit.
Right.
And it's the modern day form of slavery.
Right.
And it's like a transnational issue. It's a transcultural issue. It's a trans-economic issue.
Right.
It's also multidimensional in the fact that it's a public health issue. It's a human rights issue. It's a public safety issue.
Right.
It hits every area related to human life, and it's one common thing that every person that is being trafficked experiences, which is the loss of freedom.
Right.
And just think about that, like the loss of freedom. You lose the ability to hope, the ability to dream, the ability to feel as though you can pursue happiness, pursue your dreams. And so it's a really serious issue that is happening at a very high rate today in our local communities.
Right. That's what I was surprised to learn, that I was, in my mind, it was something where these girls were smuggled overseas to some country that we don't have an extradition right or agreement with or something like that. But you were telling me that it's right here, beginning, middle, and end.
Yep, it's right here.
It's right here.
It's an issue that's very local too. We can't forget that. It's globally, we're talking about a $150 billion industry.
Right.
It's second, third to drug trafficking and weapons trafficking. So you think about it, drugs and weapons and humans. It's staggering to even think that we're trafficking human beings at such a high rate.
Yes.
You know, in the state of Michigan, when we're looking at the local issue, it's in every zip code.
Every zip code.
It's in every zip code.
Doesn't matter if you're living in Birmingham or
It doesn't matter.
some farm community up north somewhere that it's happening. Hannah, you've told me that the average age of somebody being recruited for this is between 12 to 14. Is that true?
Yes.
It seems so young. How would somebody even think of recruiting, trafficking somebody who's 12 years old? I don't understand how that could happen.
Well, there's several different lures. We're talking about young kids. And so one area is the foster care system. Young kids that are being transferred and transitioned between foster care homes and getting lost in the system.
Right.
They're vulnerable to getting tricked into a life that's better.
Right.
So a young gal, let's say, has run away from the foster care home that she's in.
Right.
And a young man comes up who is driving a nice car, who is walking confidently, seems to have resources, approaches this young girl and says, "Oh, you have beautiful eyes," and begins to, court her.
Right.
And pretend that he's falling in love with her and get
Right.
her to fall in love with him, buying her, really nice things and saying, "Look at the life that I can offer you."
Right.
It's way better than popping from home to home
Yes.
and being with families that you don't
So
know
it seems
anything
like
about.
it seems like a logical choice
Seems
for
like
a young
better
girl.
option.
Yeah.
And what happens is, this young girl falls in love, and then she moves in with him, or with the dream of getting married and living this life that she's always dreamed of having. And then as they're living together, he then starts to turn. And he says, "Well, now you need to earn your keep. So here's what I'm going to have you do.
Yeah.
Just this weekend, we're going to have some people over."
I see.
And
It seems to
it
be
begins.
right. It seems to be a story you've heard over and over for hundreds of years, and it still seems to be going on.
Yeah.
So basically, maybe we should talk about what you guys are doing to try to help these people. Obviously, we're in a safe house right now, and it's a beautiful house. Obviously, we can't show you the outside of the house for security reasons,
Yeah.
but I can tell everyone here watching on TV it's a nice house. And how many victims will this house take care of?
Up to 5.
5.
4 to 5 women.
Right.
Yes.
And Hannah, you were talking about how it's not just a temporary thing. You don't just house these women temporarily and then send them back out.
Nope.
You work with them in almost every level of their lifestyle.
Yes.
Basically. So could you
Yes.
talk a little bit about that?
Absolutely. So what we do is we bring women into the home, and we find out from them what their needs are, and we sort of assess where the greatest need is in the beginning. We find out where their goals are, what they want to accomplish, and we work them through that. So there's a few different objectives. The first is to get through helping them navigate through the medical needs that they have, the emotional needs, the trauma-informed care that they're going to need to help walk through the trauma that they've experienced. And that's a long-term thing, but that's something we need to start pretty early on,
Right.
and begin those supports, begin wrapping them in those supports. And then we move them to the next phase. There's 4 phases total in a 24-month period.
Okay.
And so as we move from the emergent needs, from medical to emotional, getting some stability, to now moving toward more independent living according to their goals. So we're talking, life skills coaching, from
Right.
budgeting to healthy eating to maintaining a home, healthy relationships, things like that, budgeting,
Right.
health, fitness. And then we go from that to job skills development, computer literacy, things like that, accomplishing their GED, and maybe even looking at higher education depending on their academic goals. Maybe there's some academic goals. And so we want to make sure we put together a path that is independent to what they want, what their
Right.
goals are. And then we walk them through that plan. Then we also need to consider and look at the legal situation for the woman.
Right.
Whether
Especially
it
if
be-
they're underage. How do you deal with that?
Well, we actually will work with adults only. And so we want to, through advocacy and referral, help walk them and navigate through the legal
see.
system as they need.
Right.
So that sort of in a nutshell is what we want to do, and just creating community. So when a woman comes in, to be able to say to them, "Welcome home. You are loved here in this community,"
Right.
and you will receive a key to your home. You will have all your essentials met. You'll have a bed that's your own. You'll have all of your toiletries and all the things that you need, that's your own. You'll have a place to cook and to eat together and
Right.
build this environment, this space where love transforms.
Right.
And we truly believe that love and this kind of a community motivate, or is stronger. The force is stronger than what's out there.
Right. Love is stronger than what's
Love
out
is stronger
there.
than what's out there.
And that helps these girls realize that there's people out there that care about them
Yep.
and want to help them out.
Absolutely.
And your organization is helping them out in almost every aspect of life. from
any way that we can. I mean, our mission is that love transforms, and on that premise, we want to work with beautiful women to help them rediscover their dignity and rewrite the stories of their lives.
Right.
Everybody heals. That's the other thing. Everybody can heal. People can truly restore. And the investment into something like this is lifelong. And the ripple effect is so powerful because it goes so much farther outside of just what's happening in our program or what's happening with one survivor. Because they go out and they impact, and then those people impact. And the ripple effect is really powerful and incredible.
Yes.
Just to point out too, what we've seen here in this home, outside of this home, we've created these beautiful gardens. We have a community garden. We have a vegetable garden that we've had people coming in, companies and volunteers just loving on the outside. And what that has done is it's brought the community all around the neighborhood coming over, seeing what's going on. This is beautiful. This was just a plot of plain grass before, and the grass was dying. So it wasn't even a pretty place to look at. And now it's beautiful. And the neighbors want to come and water and help maintain and weed. And we've said, come and take vegetables. We'll get a basket full of vegetables, and we'll just go around in the neighborhood and hand it out to everybody and just create
a good community.
A community that, we're not just loving on what's happening inside, but we want to impact Pontiac as a community as well. And it's infectious. And so it's exciting to see that already we're making an impact in the community.
Great.
And we're really getting close to bringing women home. We're looking at potentially the end of May, beginning of June to begin welcoming women here.
So your goal as an organization is, obviously you have to raise a lot of money to help these ladies through their whole process. So I hear that you're having a big event coming up in the summer?
Yes. So we have an event coming up. It's in August 10th. It's a Friday. It's called the Free Flow Festival. And it's going to be a lot of fun. It's going to be on Belle Isle. And so we're sort of celebrating Detroit, celebrating artists, and so there'll be music there and dinner served. Tickets are $20, and please keep an eye out because we're going to start putting things out on our website and on social media, and the more people, the merrier, because this is going to help fill the gap.
Right. And also your website, we should give that out because people can make donations to your website as well.
Yes, please. That would be incredible. We're very close, but we're ready to move. We really want to make this happen. There's so many survivors. We're getting phone calls from survivors themselves, asking for help, asking if there's space yet. Can we come in and have a home to be in? Getting calls from other social providers saying, I have a survivor here who needs something long term. We don't have specialized programming for the needs that somebody who's survived this kind of trauma has.
Right.
So we are,
you provide
we are just
everything for them.
To provide the support.
Right.
Yeah,
the counseling, legal services, life skills.
Yeah. So
altogether.
So please join in the movement. Join in the fight to bring hope against trafficking, hope for restoration, and hope for stronger communities. Go to our website, www.hopeagainsttrafficking.org. Donate your time, donate your resources, donate your skills. Yes. We have a lot of volunteer opportunities as well. We have volunteer days going on at our second home, our 4-apartment home that'll house up to 16 women. It's being renovated and we're getting close. It's almost there. It's so beautiful. Yeah. So I'm excited about the progress that's happening there. But we are always welcoming volunteers to come and help as well.
That's good. If you're interested out there, this is a great opportunity to volunteer for a very worthy cause.
Thank you.
All right.
Yeah.
What kind of community support are you getting to help these survivors?
Well, it's important to partner with the medical arena and law enforcement. Really, law enforcement and the emergency room are front lines. They are exposed to victims of trafficking, all the time.
They're like the first responders for victims of trafficking.
Yeah, and so we've been able to partner and provide training. And we were just at a Human Trafficking awareness event with the Troy Police Department. We've done partnerships with Beaumont. We're doing a big awareness event May 11th at Cass Tech together. My husband has been a huge part of educating healthcare providers about human trafficking. And so what then happens is when we start to launch a program, we're going to connect again with law enforcement and connect again with the hospitals to say, hey, this is who we are. This is what we can do. Send us anyone that is ready to move into this phase of recovery.
Great.
And we have some great people in the FBI, Homeland Security, and Michigan State Police who are well aware of what's happening and are readily out there doing what they can to rescue survivors of trafficking. So there's a good deal of funding as well coming to anti-human trafficking efforts.
Great. But we always can use more.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And the partnerships are so important.
So is this problem a growing problem, or are we getting a handle on it at all?
I think it's a combination of both. I think it's a growing issue, a lot in part because of technology as well.
Oh, the online?
Yes. There was a statistic or a number, I guess, that FBI agent had talked about at our gala that we had this past October. He said that one is 1,000 times more likely to have an interaction with somebody who potentially is looking to look for people to traffic, sitting in your own home, in your living room, on the phone. And that is a very dangerous thing because it's too easy. It's so easy. The internet and technology has made it way too easy for this stuff to happen. And I say, so there's growth, I believe, in that because that's becoming more and more the way of how we interact.
It is.
But I think also we're beginning to shed light in the dark places that we didn't know that maybe this stuff was happening. You know, I think the more torchbearers that we have, the more lights that we can turn on in the dark places in our communities, we're seeing it.
Yeah.
And the thing is that we don't know if it's new. It could be something that was happening for a long time. We just never shed light on it. And so the more awareness and the more education, the more people that are willing to talk about it, the more light we're going to shed on the issue and begin exposing.
Well, Hannah, you're doing great work here, and
Thank you
I'm
so
really
much.
glad that you're getting the word out about this situation, and I'm sure people are going to want to support the survivors by making a good donation to your charity, Hope Against Trafficking.
Yes.
All right. Thank you, Hannah, for sharing that with us.
Absolutely.
It's an awesome charity, and I think anybody out there who's looking for a good charity to donate to, this would be the one, Hope Against Trafficking. They need a lot of help, and they're doing a lot of great things in the community. Thanks for watching.